Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode here on Jessica Smith TV. Today, I'd like to take you through a total body mobility focused warm up just to help you get your body more awake, more ready for your workout, whether you're going to do some cardio or total body strength training, or maybe you just need to help wake up for your day. So we're going to start with the feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, whatever feels comfortable to you. Knees are nice and soft. Just start by taking your chin over to one shoulder and then gently taking it to the other side. So it's just a very gentle movement. I'm calling this one the cozy sweater weather warm up, just because maybe it's a little chilly where you are. Sometimes, some days we wake up and we need a little bit more time to ease into our day, to our workout, whatever you've got scheduled for your morning or evening. You can do this at any time of the day, any time of year. Good, take it back one more time. Come back to the center, just moving into the shoulders ever so gently. Take a real nice smooth shoulder roll to the front and back. I'm just starting to tap into the body, connect to your body, see how you're feeling today, seeing if you notice anything throughout your body, back to front with those shoulders. As for me, I think I slept wrong last night, so I'm feeling a little bit of a pull in my neck. So that's something I'm going to make a note of as I go into my workout after this, so I don't add any additional stress to it. From here, let's keep stretching that upper back and shoulder area. Just kind of give yourself a big giant hug. Let your shoulders kind of round forward, stretch across that upper back very gently, because we're just easing into all of this. Take a deep breath and reach your arms out on a diagonal. It doesn't matter which arm goes up first. Just kind of open through your sternum here, your chest, lifting the heart. Exhale, hug. Bring the other arm on top this time, rounding and stretching across the upper back. Take another deep breath in and reverse that reach, that diagonal. Inhaling, opening, a little extension in that upper back, nothing major. Switch the arm that's on top. Give yourself another big hug. And inhale, open wide. Good. And as we're easing into this change, the arm that's on top, you're just kind of seeing if you can maybe make things a little bit bigger. Maybe you need to stay smaller. Inhale, stretch. Good. Now just come to neutral with everything, keeping the knees soft. We're just going to take a very gentle shoulder roll. So your elbow can start bent first. Again, just check in with your body. See how you're feeling. One more time, front to back. And now just start to reverse it back to front. And again, just making it as large as you comfortably can. Relaxing through the neck. Two more on this side. Nice. Let's take it to the other arm. Just switching it out. Reversing it. Two more. You got it. Now let's move down. Just place your hands right on top of your hips. Again, nice bend in the knees. Keep your abs bracing in towards your spine. Contract those abdominals and just start with a little hip circle. So we don't want to go too far forward with the hips because we don't want to push into that low back, but just start to trace a little circle here, or more of an oval really, on the floor in one direction. And then just reverse the direction that you're going in. Very gently, but again, think about keeping that nice engagement through the abdominals, protecting through that low back. Don't jut your hips too far forward here. Good. One more. Now just go ahead and step 1 foot forward, doesn't matter which one. Keep your feet kind of on a nice wide stance. We're gonna start to work down through the toes and the ankles. So I want you to shift your weight forward, pressing through the back ball of your foot. So get a little stretch through the toes. Shift back, bend that front knee, and see if you can flex at the ankle, really dorsiflecting, working on that dorsiflexion of the foot, bringing your toes as close to the shin as possible. A little bit faster, shifting forward, stretch to the ball of that back foot, shift back, flex those toes. So my heel stays on the floor in the front foot, and the ball of my foot stays on the floor in the back foot as the heel lifts. So just again, shifting back and forth. And all of these movements you're making your own. So you're going to your own degree, your own range of motion here. You can give it more energy, more range of motion if you feel good. You can make it much smaller. And if there's a move that just doesn't feel right for you, you can totally skip it too. One more here. Good, let's go ahead and just switch out the feet. And again, at your own pace, start by pressing up, just hold this one a little bit longer. And then reverse it, shift it back, flex. You might feel some crackling, some creaking as you're getting going. Just see if you can smooth your motion out as much as possible to get rid of that popping sensation. Good. Forward and back breath should be just nice and calm, nice and easy. Again, this is just a gentle warm-up to help prepare you for whatever might be next on your agenda for the day. But a really good, solid, gradually building warm-up can help you get even more out of your workouts. So whether it's this one or another warm-up, just make sure you have a nice, solid warm-up built into your routine, because it really can help enhance your performance and improve your range of motion in all your exercises. Good. Nice, just go ahead and release it from here. Let's take the knees, again, a little more bent, but we're gonna take the hands on top of the thighs here just to support the spine. Taking a little version of cat-cow here in a standing position, but I want you to think of contracting through your abdominals, brace the belly in, tuck your tailbone under, and then a tiny arch to the back. So don't sink into it, just let that back come back to a nice little curve in that low back. Rounding. Not really a curve, it's an arch, I should say. My brain is still warming up too. And contract. So just moving back and forth to your own degree here. Again, really thinking about that bracing contraction of the abdominals as you're rounding. And then just keep some of that contraction, that belly connected to the spine, even as you're stretching and arching slightly through that low back. Good, so let's keep the spine nice and neutral here. You can keep one hand supporting your spine on your back leg. Let's reach this front arm up into a half letter Y, and then come back down towards the floor. So my thumb is up, my palm is up, I'm externally rotating through my shoulder, half letter Y, relax your neck, reach back down. Try to keep your spine nice and neutral, abs braced in, trying not to lean into this backhand. It's just there as a little bit of support for the back. One more time. Good, now just let that arm hang towards the floor, let gravity kind of circle that shoulder for you. Reverse your direction. Good, now let's go ahead and switch it out, placing that hand on top of the other thigh, reaching that back arm or supporting arm out and up, thumb up, and then back down to the floor. So externally rotating through the shoulder, thumb is up, reach up to make a half letter Y. Just go to your own degree here, coming as high up as you can, and you're just looking straight down at the floor so the back of the neck stays long and relaxed. One more time. Nice, just let that arm hang from here, circling through the shoulder. Reverse direction of the circle you're making. Nicely done. Now let's just go ahead and bend the knees as much as we need to come down to the floor. So we're going to start on a hands and knees position. I'm just placing the heels of your hands kind of underneath your shoulders here. Let's go into the wrists a little bit more. So just starting off with a gentle little press up onto the knuckles, really, on the palm of your hand. So you're pressing up, lifting the heel of your hand off the floor and coming down. Two more. Again, you just go to your own degree. Maybe it's a very small range of motion. Maybe you can press all the way up. See how this feels to you. Elbows can have a nice softness to them. And then starting to engage the flexors of the wrist, extending up, lifting the fingers off the floor. And again, could be really, really small. Nice. And now try to grip the floor with your fingers like you're trying to bring your hands all the way up into a fist, but you're going to keep your fingertips down, pads of the fingers on the floor, and then release it very gently, very slowly. Grip, 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 and down. Kind of like your Spider-Man or Spider-Woman climbing up the side of a building. Grip with your fingers and release. One more time. Grip and release. Good. Now, if you're uncomfortable in this kneeling position with your knees, please don't be shy about adding a padded mat or pillows under your knees. Just make yourself as comfortable as you can. We're gonna take the knees a little bit wider apart so that we can try to sit our hips back towards our heels. You don't have to sit all the way back. We wanna kind of bring the hands in a little closer so we can focus on some upper back mobility without letting our hips move. So this is just to stabilize our hip position. Take one hand, fingertips light on the back of the head. We're gonna press down with a supporting arm as we rotate away from the floor. So just kind of taking your eyes with it and then slowly come back. You don't have to come all the way down to the floor. Just kind of square up your shoulders to the ground again. Push away from the floor as you're rotating to the side. Focusing on really moving through that upper back. Exhaling, pushing away. Inhaling, coming back. Let's try just one more on this side. And just let your eyes go with it in whatever way it's comfortable for your neck. Taking a minute just to switch out our hands. Take the other hand behind your head, pressing down with that bottom arm. As we rotate, come back to the center. Exhaling, twisting. And down, 2 more. Nice, last time here. Great job. From here, let's come back up to that more traditional hands and knees position. And we're gonna start with a bent knee hip circle. So just taking one leg, keeping the knee bent, you're gonna circle outside of that hip. Trace as large of a circle as you can, trying not to let your hips shift from side to side. Now, optional to get a little more core engagement and recruitment, we can take our opposite hand and just hold on to our opposite shoulder with our hand here. If that feels too unstable for you, keep both of your hands on the floor. Let's reverse the direction of the circle. Keep the core braced and nice and tight to help you balance and stabilize here. Doesn't matter how many circles you're making, just make them as large as you can. Don't worry about your speed. Nice and smooth. That opposite hand lifting adds a nice little challenge here for the core. So use it if you want, or keep both hands down. Good, taking a moment here, placing both hands down, taking that cat-cow just to stretch and contract those abdominals again. Contract away from the floor. And release and stretch open. 2 more times. Good, last time, contract. So we're gonna go get the other leg. I'm just gonna turn this way so you can see it a little bit better if you need to. So starting with that leg circle, doesn't matter which direction because we're gonna do both. So start with the circle first. Make sure you feel pretty stable and strong here before you may decide to add the opposite hand coming off the floor, holding onto the front of that other shoulder. And this might be something that you wanna build up to another day, which is totally fine. Let's reverse the direction of that circle here. Everything is braced and tight. Nice smooth range of motion. Going at your own pace. Good, and just go ahead and finish the last one you're on here with your circles. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and just have a seat here with our knees bent and our feet flat on the floor. So there's a couple ways we can do this next one. Walk your hands back so that your fingertips are turned out. Your chest is open. Just take a moment here just to open across that chest and then release it. So we're gonna stretch one arm up and over. You can bend this back elbow just to create some space to reach on back and on a diagonal. Come back up to seated, turning that hand out as you place it down, stretch the other way. So you could absolutely just stay with this. That might be plenty for you. If you're looking to get a little more out of it, bring your feet in a little closer so that you could try to lift your hips up and back. And again, go to your own degree of this. You might want to make this really small. Maybe you're able to lift the hips higher and stretch that arm further back. Hips could stay on the floor the entire time. Just kind of see what's feeling good for you today. Let's do one more in each direction. Really nicely done. So staying seated with those feet flat, let's just hold the backs of the thighs, round the chin to the chest, and slowly lengthen back onto the floor. So think of really working through that spine as you lie back onto your back. And we're gonna walk the feet in a little bit closer, start to work into the legs a little more. So from here, I want you to think of just lifting your front leg, squeeze your heel in. So really feel the hamstring engaging here, and then release it. Squeeze and release. So you could stay right here, or we're gonna see if we can progress this just a little bit. We're gonna put that heel on the floor, and we're just gonna see if we can dig the heel in and then release. So I'm not really moving my heel too far, I'm just kind of sliding it in a couple inches and then releasing out. 2 more, squeezing in. Last time, squeeze it in. Release. Let's change legs. So again, just start with the heel lifting and squeezing as if you had something between your calf and the back of your thigh here. And release it. Squeeze. Again, heel to the floor is optional. See if you can slide it in a little bit. So we're just activating through the back of the leg. Squeeze. 2 more times. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 1 more time. Squeeze. Nice. So working now through the front of that thigh, I want you to press that leg up and push the top of the thigh into both of your hands. Bend, extend through the knee, push, contract through the top of the thigh, the quadriceps muscles, and down. 2 more times. Extend. Now press against the hands, push the hands down into that thigh. And 1 more time, press it up. Release it, go to the other side, same thing, extend, press, 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 and down. So your leg doesn't have to be straight. It's not about a stretch, it's about a contraction through the top of the thigh. That's what we're going for most. Press, 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 and down. 1 more time, press, press, press. Nice. Now from here, just bring your feet together, focusing on our inner thighs now. I want you to really squeeze your inner thighs together. And release. So it's more of a static contraction, not much to see here. Just really contract and squeeze through the inner thighs. Feel that activation. 2 more times. Really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Release. Try not to push with your glutes, just the inner thighs. 1 last time, squeeze. Nice. Bring the knees up into the chest. Just turn over onto one side. So the knees are going to be a little bit higher than the hips. Take both arms out in front of you. You can just rest your head on the floor here. Our top arm is going to make a little rainbow, but I want you to aim it back on a diagonal. So I'm reaching back to the back corner with the goal of eventually, maybe one day, getting the back of my shoulder blade against the mat or floor, and then slowly coming back down. If you want, you could put a pillow or something underneath your head here to be a little more comfortable, but just really tracing a nice big rainbow with that arm to the back corner of your room, and then coming back. We're gonna do 2 more on this side. Open and reach, going back into that upper back, into the shoulder area. 1 more time. Don't worry if your shoulder blade's not getting anywhere close to the floor. That's a-okay. Just go where you can today. Nice. Now I'm going to bend my bottom arm underneath my head to make it a little more comfortable. Bring my knees more in front of my hips now. Top hand can just be on the hip. We're just going to take a little external rotation from the hip, starting to wake up those muscles outside of the hip and in the glutes. Rotate it nice and gentle. 2 more. Nice. Now turn back onto your back. Flex both feet. We're going to start to engage the abdominals. Hands are going to press into the thighs. I want you to press your thighs into your hands. Brace your abs in as tight as you can. Press, press, press. And release. Head stays on the floor. Exhale. Release. Again, exhale. Release. Just get those abdominal muscles activated 1 more time. Nice. Let's take it back down, engaging through the inner thighs. Squeeze. Keep going. Squeeze and release. I'm just going to turn around so we can do the other side of that side lying series. 1 more squeeze here. And hugging the knees in. Let's turn over onto the other side of the body, knees a little higher than the hips. Both arms out, make your head comfortable, reaching back. And on that diagonal, aiming that shoulder blade towards the floor as close as you can, and slowly bring it back. Again, take your time here, open out and reach. And back in. 2 more times to your own degree. One last time, you got it, and open it out. And coming back to the center, just bending that bottom elbow underneath our head, bringing the knees more in line with the hips. Top hand can be at the hip, and just a nice external rotation through the hip here. So we're almost done. Hopefully the body's feeling a little bit more awake, a little warmer, a little bit more ready for action. This is also just a nice way to get some movement in. Maybe if you're under the weather or you're super sore, turn onto your back, flex your feet, brace your abs in tight. Nothing too intense, but it's always good to get our bodies moving, engaged, press against the thighs. 2 more times, really brace in and up, and down. 1 more time, brace in and up, and down, good. And just gently rock yourself up to a seated position. Let's turn over onto the hands and the knees. Taking one heel back, just take a little ankle circle, pressing back through the heel. Toes are staying tucked under onto the floor. Other way, out and around. Take a second just to switch it out, bring the other foot back, tucking the toes, circling out through that heel. Reverse direction. 2 more. Very nice. From here, let's just tuck the toes, brace the abs in tight. Start to lift just your knees off the floor. Hold it for a second. Lift your hips up and back. Keep your knees nice and bent. Relax your head through your arms. See if you can pedal one heel at a time down into the floor. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Keep those knees nice and bent. Dropping both heels back, walking your hands back towards your feet. And just support your spine, bringing your hands on top of your thighs as we slowly roll up through the back. Returning to standing, finishing with some standing extensions. Hands are just right behind your hips, knees have a little bend in them, and just extend that spine back as far as is comfortable for you. And come back up. Again, extending back to your own degree. Trying for 2 more, take your time, extend back. And up 1 more time, extend it back. And let's just take a nice deep breath together to finish. Inhaling up and exhale, release it. Thank you so much for joining me for this gentle warm-up. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer, a little bit more awake, and ready to take on whatever is coming next in your day. Thanks so much for moving with me, everybody. I can't wait to see you again soon.